Alcestis by Euripides. The scene represents the ancient castle of Admetus near Pherae in Thessaly. It is the dusk before dawn. Apollo, radiant in the darkness, looks at the castle.
Admetus' house. 'Twas here I bowed my head of old, and chafed not at the bondman's bread, though born in heaven. I, Zeus to death had hurled my son Asclepius, healer of the world, piercing with fire his heart, and in mine ire I slew his cyclop churls who forged the fire, whereat Zeus cast me forth to bear the yoke of service to a mortal. To this folk I came, and watched a stranger's herd for pay, and all his house I have prospered to this day. For innocent was the lord I chanced upon, and clean as my own heart, King Pherae's son, Admetus. Him I rescued from the grave, beguiling the grey sisters till they gave a great oath that Admetus should go free, would he but pay to them below in fee another living soul. Long did he prove all that were his, and all that owed him love, but never a soul he found would yield up life and leave the sunlight for him, save his wife, who even now down the long galleries is borne, death wounded, for this day it is she needs must pass out of the light and die, and seeing the stain of death must not come nigh my radiance. I must leave this house I love. But ha! the headsman of the pit, above earth's floor to ravish her. Aye, long and late he hath watched, and cometh at the fall of fate.
Enter from the other side Thanatos, a crouching black-haired and winged figure, carrying a drawn sword. He starts in revulsion on seeing Apollo.
Aha! Why here? What makest thou at the gate, thou thing of light? Wilt o'ertread the eternal judgment, and abate and spoil the portions of the dead? 'Tis not enough for thee to have blocked in other days Admetus' doom, with craft of magic wine which mocked the three grey sisters of the tomb. But now once more I see thee stand at watch, and shake that arrow-armed hand to make this woman thine, who swore to die now for her husband's sake.
Fear not. I bring fair words, and seek but what is just.
And if words help thee not, an arrow must.
'Tis ever my delight to bear this bow.
And aid this house unjustly. Aye, 'tis so.
I love this man, and grieve for his dismay.
And now wilt rob me of my second prey.
I never robbed thee, neither then nor now.
Why is Admetus here then, not below?
He gave for ransom his own wife, for whom
I am come, and straight will bear her to the tomb.
Go, take her. I can never move thine heart.
To slay the doomed? Nay, I will do my part.
No, to keep death for them that linger late.
'Twould please thee so. I owe thee homage great.
Ah, then she may yet grow old.
No, I too have my rights, and them I hold.
'Tis but one life thou gainest eitherwise.
When young souls die, the richer is my prize.
Old, with great riches they will bury her.
Fie on thee, fie, thou rich man's lawgiver.
How is there wit in death who seemed so blind?
The rich would buy long life for all their kind.
Thou wilt not grant me then this boon? 'Tis so?
Thou knowest me. What am I? I tell thee, no.
I know God sickeneth thee, and men pine.
Begone! Too many things not meant for thine, thy greed hath conquered, but not all, not all.
I swear, for all thy bitter pride, a fall awaits thee. One even now comes conquering towards this house, sent by a Southland king to fetch him 4 wild coursers of the race which rend men's bodies in the winds of Thrace. This house shall give him welcome good, and he shall wrest this woman from thy worms and thee. So, thou shalt give me all, and thereby win but hatred, not the grace that might have been.
Exit Apollo.
Talk on, thy threat shall win no bride. From me, this woman, whatsoe'er betide, shall lie in Hades' house, even at the word I go to lay upon her hair my sword. For all whose head this grey sword visiteth, to death are hallowed and the lords of death.
Thanatos goes into the house. Presently, as the day grows lighter, the chorus enters. It consists of citizens of Pherae, who speak severally.
Quiet, quiet above, beneath.
The house of Admetus holds its breath.
And never a king's friend near to tell us either of tears to shed for Peleus' daughter, crowned and dead, or joy that her eyes are clear. Bravest, truest of wives is she that I have seen or the world shall see.
Hear ye no sob, or noise of hand beating the breast? No mourners' cries for one they cannot save?
Nothing, and at the door there stands no handmaid. Help, O Pion, rise, O star beyond the wave.
Dead? And this quiet? No, it cannot be.
Dead, dead. Not gone to burial secretly.
Why? I still fear. What makes your speech so brave?
Admetus cast that dear wife to the grave alone, with none to see?
I see no bowl of clear spring water. It ever stands before the dread door when a dead man rests.
No lock of shorn hair. Every daughter of woman sheds it for the dead. No sound of bruised beasts.
Yet 'tis this very day.
This very day?
The queen should pass and lie beneath the clay.
It hurts my life, my heart. All honest hearts must sorrow for a brightness that departs, a good life worn away.
To wander o'er leagues of land, to search over wastes of sea, where the prophets of Lycia stand, or where Ammon's daughters three make runes in the rainless sand, for magic to make her free. Oh, vain, for the end is here. Sudden it comes and sheer. What lamb on the altar's strand, stricken, shall comfort me?
Only one I know. Apollo's son was he, who healed men long ago. Were he but on earth to see, she would rise from the dark below and the gates of eternity. For men whom the gods had slain he pitied and raised again, till God's fire laid him low. And now what help have we?
All's done that can be. Every vow full paid, and every altar's brow full crowned with spice of sacrifice. No help remains, nor respite now.
Enter from the castle a handmaid, almost in tears.
But see, a handmaid cometh, and the tear wet on her cheek. What tidings shall we hear? Thy grief is natural, daughter, if some ill hath fallen today. Say, is she living still or dead, your mistress? Speak, if speak you may.
Alive. No, dead. Oh, read it either way.
Nay, daughter, can the same soul live and die?
Her life is broken. Death is in her eye.
Poor king, to think what she was and what thou.
He never knew her worth. He will know it now.
There is no hope, methinks, to save her still.
The hour is come and breaks all human will.
She hath such tendance as the dying crave?
For sure, and rich robes ready for her grave.
For God, she dies high-hearted. Ay, and far in honour raised above all wives that are.
Far above all? How other? What must she who seeketh to surpass this woman be? Or how could any wife more shining make her lord's love than by dying for his sake? But thus much all the city knows. 'Tis here in her own rooms the tale will touch thine ear with strangeness. When she knew the day was come, she rose and washed her body white as foam with running water. Then the cedern press she opened, and took forth her funeral dress and rich adornment. So she stood arrayed, before the hearth-fire of her home and prayed, "Mother, since I must vanish from the day, this last time I kneel to thee and pray. Be mother to my 2 children. Find some dear helpmate for him, some gentle lord for her, and let not them, like me, before their hour die. Let them live in happiness, in our old home, till life be full and age content." To every household altar then she went, and made for each his garland of the green boughs of the wind-blown myrtle, and was seen, praying, without a sob, without a tear. She knew the dread thing coming, but her clear cheek never changed, till suddenly she fled back to her own chamber and bridal bed. Then came the tears, and she spoke all her thought. "O bed, whereon my laughing girlhood's knot was severed by this man, for whom I die, farewell! 'Tis thou, I speak not bitterly, 'tis thou hast slain me. All alone I go, lest I be false to him or thee. And lo, some woman shall lie here instead of me, happier perhaps, more true she cannot be." She kissed the pillow as she knelt, and wet with flooding tears was that fair coverlet. At last she had had her fill of weeping. Then she tore herself away, and rose again, walking with downcast eyes, yet turned before she had left the room, and cast her down once more, kneeling beside the bed. Then to her side the children came, and clung to her and cried, and her arms hugged them, and a long good-bye she gave to each, like one who goes to die. The whole house then was weeping, every slave in sorrow for his mistress. And she gave her hand to all, aye, none so base was there she gave him not good words, and he to her. So on Admetus falls from either side sorrow. 'Twere bitter grief to him to have died himself, and being escaped, how sore a woe he hath earned instead. Ah, some day he shall know.
Surely Admetus suffers even today, for this true-hearted love he hath cast away.
He weeps, begs her not leave him desolate, and holds her to his heart. Too late, too late. She is sinking now, and there beneath his eye, fading, the poor cold hand falls languidly, and faint is all her breath. Yet still she fain would look once on the sunlight, once again and never more. I will go in and tell thy presence. Few there be will serve so well my master, and stand by him to the end. But thou hast been from olden days our friend.
The maid goes in.
O Zeus, what escape, and where from the evil thing? How break the snare that is round our king?
Ah, list, one cometh. No, let us no more wait. Make dark our raiment, and shear this hair.
Aye, friends, 'tis so, even so. Yet the gods are great, and may send delayment. To prayer, O Paean wise, some healing of this home devise. Find. O long ago, when we were blind, thine eyes saw mercy. Find some healing breath. Again, O Paean, break the chains that bind. Stay the red hand of death. Alas, what shame, what dread! Thou fairy son shalt be harvested when thy wife is gone.
Ah me, for a deed less drear than this thou ruest, men have died for sorrow. Aye, hearts have bled.
'Tis she, not as men say dear, but the dearest, truest, shall lie ere morrow before thee dead.
But lo, once more, she and her husband, moving to the door, cry, and thou, O land of Pherae, hearken. The bravest of women sinketh, perisheth, under the green earth, down where the shadows darken, down to the house of death.
During the last words, Admetus and Alcestis have entered. Alcestis is supported by her handmaids and followed by her 2 children.
And who hath said that love shall bring more joy to man than fear and strife? I knew his perils from of old. I know them now, when I behold the bitter faring of my king, whose love is taken, and his life left evermore an empty thing.
O sun, O light of the day that falls, O running cloud that races along the sky,
they look on thee and me, a stricken twain, who have wrought no sin that God should have thee slain.
dear earth, and house of sheltering walls, and wedded homes of the land where my fathers lie.
Fail not, my hapless one. Be strong, and pray the o'ermastering gods to hate us not alway.
Alcestis, faintly, her mind wandering.
A boat two-oared upon water. I see, and the ferryman of the dead, his hand that hangs on the pole, his voice that cries, Thou lingerest, come, come quickly, we wait for thee. He is angry that I am slow, he shakes his head.
Alas, a bitter boat faring for me, my bride ill-starred. Oh, this is misery.
Drawing, 'tis somewhat that draweth me to the palaces of the dead. Oh, so dark, the wings, the eyebrows, and oh, the eyes. Go back. God's mercy, what seekest thou? Let me be. Where am I? Oh, and what paths are these I tread?
Grievous for all who love thee, but for me and my two babes most hard, most solitary.
Hold me not, let me lie. I am too weak to stand, and death is near, and a slow darkness stealing on my sight. My little ones, good-bye. Soon, and mother will be here no more. Good-bye, two happy children in the light.
Oh, word of pain, oh, sharper ache, than any death of mine had brought. For the God's sake, desert me not. For thine own desolate children's sake, nay, up, be brave, for if they rend thee from me, I can draw no breath. In thy hand are my life and death, thine, my beloved and my friend.
Admetus, seeing what way my fortunes lie, I fain would speak with thee before I die. I have set thee before all things, yea, mine own life beside thine was naught. For this alone I die. Dear Lord, I need never have died. I might have lived to wed some prince of pride, dwell in a king's house. Nay, how could I, torn from thee, live on, I and my babes forlorn? I have given to thee my youth, not more nor less, but all, though I was full of happiness. Thy father and mother both, 'tis strange to tell, have failed thee, though for them the deed was well. The years were ripe to die and save their son, the one child of the house. For hope was none if thou shouldst pass away of other heirs. So thou and I had lived through the long years both. Thou hadst not lain sobbing here alone for a dead wife and orphan babes. 'Tis done now, and some God hath wrought out all his will. Howbeit I now will ask thee to fulfill one great return gift, not so great withal as I have given, for life is more than all, but just and due, as thine own heart will tell. For thou hast loved our little ones as well as I have. Keep them to be masters here in my old house, and bring no stepmother upon them. She might hate them. She might be some baser woman, not a queen like me, and strike them with her hand. Oh, for mercy, spare our little ones that wrong. It is my prayer. They come into a house. They are all strife and hate to any child of the dead wife. Better a serpent than a stepmother. A boy is safe. He has his father there to guard him. But a little girl.
Taking the little girl to her.
What good and gentle care will guide thy maidenhood? What woman wilt thou find at father's side? One evil word from her, just when the tide of youth is full, would wreck thy hope of love, and no more mother near to stand above thy marriage bed, nor comfort thee pain-tossed in travail when one needs a mother most. Seeing I must die, 'tis here across my way, not for the morrow, not for the third day, but now, death, and to lie with things that were. Farewell. God keep you happy. Husband dear, remember that I failed thee not, and you, my children, that your mother loved you true.
Take comfort. Ere thy Lord can speak, I swear, if truth is in him, he will grant thy prayer.
He will, he will. Oh, never fear for me. Mine hast thou been, and mine shalt ever be, living and dead, thou only. Nothing in wide Hellas but thou shalt be Admetus' bride. No race so high, no face so magic sweet shall ever from this purpose turn my feet. And children, if God grant me joy of these, 'tis all I ask. Of thee no joy nor ease he gave me. And thy mourning I will bear, not 1 year of my life, but every year, while life shall last. My mother I will know no more, my father shall be held my foe. They brought the words of love, but not the deed, whilst thou hast given thine all, and in my need saved me. What can I do but weep alone, alone alway, when such a wife is gone? An end shall be made of revel, and an end of crowns and song and mirth of friend with friend, wherewith my house was glad. I ne'er again will touch the lute, nor ease my heart from pain with pipes of Afric. All the joys I knew, and joys were many, thou hast broken in two. Oh, I will find some artist wondrous wise, should mould for me thy shape, thine hair, thine eyes, and lay it in thy bed, and I will lie close, and reach out mine arms to thee, and cry thy name into the night, and wait, and hear my own heart breathe. Thy love is near. Oh, cold delight! Yet it might ease the sum of sorrow, and good dreams of thee will come like balm. 'Tis sweet, even in a dream, to gaze on a dear face, the moment that it stays. O God, if Orpheus' voice were mine, to sing to Death's high virgin and the virgins' king, till their hearts failed them, down would I my path cleave, and not stay me, not the hound of wrath, not the grey oarsman of the ghostly tide, till back to sunlight I had borne my bride. But now, wife, wait for me till I shall come where thou art, and prepare our second home. These ministers in that same cedar sweet, where thou art lain, will lay me, feet to feet and head to head. Oh, not in death from thee divided, who alone art true to me.
This lifelong sorrow thou hast sworn I too, thy friend, will bear with thee. It is her due.
Children, ye heard his promise. He will wed no other woman, nor forget the dead.
Again I promise, so it shall be done.
Alcestis, giving the children into his arms, one after the other.
On that oath take my daughter, and my son.
Dear hand that gives, I accept both gift and vow.
Thou in my place must be their mother now.
Else were they motherless, I needs must try.
My babes, I ought to live, and lo, I die.
And how can I, forlorn of thee, live on?
Time healeth, and the dead are dead and gone.
Oh, take me with thee to the dark below, me also!
'Tis enough that one should go.
O fate, to have cheated me of one so true!
Alcestis, her strength failing.
There comes a darkness, a great burden too.
I am lost if thou wilt leave me, wife, mine own!
I am not thy wife. I am nothing. All is gone.
Thy babes, thou wilt not leave them, raise thine eye!
I am sorry. But good-bye, children. Good-bye.
Look at them, wake and look at them!
I must go.
What? Dying?
Farewell, husband.
She dies.
Oh, woe! Woe!
Admetus' queen is dead.
While Admetus is weeping silently and the chorus veil their faces, the little boy runs up to his dead mother.
Oh, what has happened? Mommy has gone away and left me and will not come back anymore. Father, I shall be lonely all the day. Look, look, her eyes, and her arms not like before. How they lie. Mother, oh, speak a word. Answer me, mother. It is I am touching your face. It is I, your little bird.
Admetus, recovering himself and going to the child.
She hears us not. She sees us not. We lie under a heavy grief, child, thou and I.
I am so little, father, and lonely and cold, here without mother. It is too hard. And you, poor little sister, too. Oh, father, such a little time we had her. She might have stayed on till we all were old. Everything is spoiled when mother is dead.
The little boy is taken away, with his sister sobbing.
My king, thou needs must gird thee to the worst. Thou shalt not be the last, nor yet the first, to lose a noble wife. Be brave, and know to die is but a debt that all men owe.
I know. It came not without doubts and fears, this thing. The thought hath poisoned all my years. Howbeit, I now will make the burial due to this dead queen. Be assembled, all of you, and after, raise your triumph song to greet this pitiless power that yawns beneath our feet. Meantime, let all in Thessaly who dread my sceptre join in mourning for the dead, with temples sorrow-shorn and sable weed. Ye chariot lords, ye spurs of the steed, shear close your horses' manes. Let there be found through all my realm no lute, no lyre, nor sound of piping, till 12 moons are at an end. For never shall I lose a closer friend, nor braver in my need. And worthy is she of honor, who alone hath died for me.
The body of Alcestis is carried into the house by mourners. Admetus follows it.
Daughter of Peleus, fare thee well.
May joy be thine
in the sunless houses.
For thine is the deed which the dead shall tell, where a king black-browed in the gloom carouses, and the cold grey hand the helm and oar, which guideth shadows from shore to shore, shall bear this day, or the tears that well, a queen of women, a spouse of spouses.
Minstrels many shall praise thy name, with lyre full strung and with voices lyreless, when mid-moon riseth, an orbed flame, and from dusk to dawning the dance is tireless. And Carnos cometh to Sparta's call, and Athens shineth in festival, for thy death is a song and a fullness of fame, till the heart of the singer is left desireless.
Would I could reach thee, oh, reach thee and save my daughter, starward in gulfs of hell, past gates, past tears that swell, where the weak oar climbs through the night and the water.
beloved and lonely one, who feared not dying, gone in another's stead, alone to the hungry dead. Light be the carven stone above thee lying.
Oh, he who shall seek again a new bride after thee, were loathed of thy children twain, and loathed of me.
Word to his mother sped, praying to her who bore him. Word to his father old, heavy with years and cold. Quick, ere your son be dead, what dare ye for him?
Old, and they dared not, grey, and they helped him never. 'Twas she in her youth and pride rose up for her lord and died. O love of two hearts that stay one knit for ever!
'Tis rare in the world. God send such bride in my house to be. She should live life to the end, not fail through me.
As the song ceases, there enters a stranger, walking strongly, but travel-stained, dusty, and tired. His lion skin and club show him to be Heracles.
Ho, countryman! And is Admetus in his home?
Our king is in his house, Lord Heracles. But say, what need brings thee in days like these to Thessaly and Pherae's walled ring?
A quest I follow for the Argive king.
What prize doth call thee, and to what far place?
The horses of one Diomed in Thrace.
But how? Thou knowest not. Is he strange to thee?
Quite strange, I ne'er set foot in Bistony.
Not without battle shalt thou win those steeds.
So be it, I cannot fail my master's needs.
To slay or die, win or return no more.
Well, I have looked on peril's face before.
What profit hast thou in such manslaying?
I shall bring back the horses to my king.
'Twere none such easy work to bridle them.
Not easy. Have they nostrils breathing flame?
They tear men's flesh, their jaws are swift with blood.
Men's flesh, 'tis mountain wolves, not horses' food.
Thou wilt see their mangers clotted with blood, like mire.
And he who feeds such beasts, who was his sire?
Ares, the warlord of the golden targe.
Enough! This labour fitteth well my large fortune, still upward, still against the wind. How often with these kings of Ares' kind must I do battle? First the dark wolf-man, Lycaon, then 'twas the man called the Swan, and now this man of steeds. Well, none shall see Alcmena's son turn from his enemy.
Enter Admetus from the castle.
Lo, as we speak, this land's high governor, Admetus, cometh from his castle door.
Zeus born of Perseid line, all joy to thee.
Joy to Admetus, lord of Thessaly.
Right welcome were she, but thy love I know.
But why this mourning hair, this garb of woe?
There is a burial I must make today.
God keep all evil from thy children.
Nay, my children live.
Thy father, if 'tis he, is ripe in years.
He liveth, friend, and she who bore me.
Surely not thy wife. 'Tis not Alcestis.
Ah, two answers share my thought, questioned of her.
Is she alive or dead?
She is, and is not, and my heart hath bled long years for her.
I understand no more. Thy words are riddles.
Heardst thou not of yore this doom that she must meet?
I know thy wife has sworn to die for thee.
And is it life, to live with such an oath hung o'er her head?
Ah, weep not too soon, friend. Wait till she be dead.
He dies who is doomed to die. He is dead who dies.
The two are different things in most men's eyes.
Decide thy way, Lord, and let me decide the other way.
Who is it that has died? Thou weepest.
'Tis a woman. It doth take my memory back to her, of whom we spake.
A stranger or of kin to thee?
Not kin, but much beloved.
How came she to be in thy house to die?
Her father died, and so she came to us, an orphan, long ago.
'Tis sad. I would I had found thee on a happier day.
Thy words have some intent. What wouldst thou say?
I must find harbour with some other friend.
My prince, it shall not be. God never sends such evil.
'Tis great turmoil when a guest comes to a mourning house.
Come in and rest. Let the dead die.
I cannot for mere shame feast beside men whose eyes have tears in them.
The guest rooms are apart where thou shalt be.
Friend, let me go. I shall go gratefully.
Thou shalt not enter any door but mine.
To an attendant.
Lead in our guest. Unlock the furthest line of guest chambers, and bid the stewards there make ready a full feast. Then close with care the midway doors. 'Tis unmeet if he hears our turmoil, or is burdened with our tears.
The attendant leads Heracles into the house.
How, master? When within a thing so sad lies, thou wilt house a stranger. Art thou mad?
And had I turned the stranger from my door, who sought my shelter, hadst thou praised me more? I trow not, if my sorrow were thereby no whit less, only the more friendless I. And more, when bards tell tales, were it not worse my house should lie beneath the stranger's curse? Now he is my sure friend, if e'er I stand lonely in Argos in a thirsty land.
Thou callest him thy friend. How didst thou dare keep hid from him the burden of thy care?
He would never have entered had he known my grief. Ay, men may mock what I have done and call me fool. My house has never learned to fail its friend, nor seen the stranger's burn.
Admetus goes into the house.
Oh, a house that loves the stranger, and a house forever free.
And Apollo, the song-changer, was a herdsman in thy fee. Yea, a piping he was found where the upward valleys wound, to the kine from out the manger, and the sheep from off the lea, and love was upon Othrys at the sound.
And from deep glens unbeholden of the forest to his song, there came lynxes streaky golden, there came lions in a throng, tawny-coated, ruddy-eyed, to that piper in his pride, and shy fawns he would embolden, dappled dancers, out along the shadow by the pine tree's side.
And those magic pipes a-blowing have fulfilled thee in thy reign, by thy lake with honey flowing, by thy sheepfolds and thy grain. Where the sun turns his steeds to the twilight, all the meads of Molossus know thy sowing, and thy ploughs upon the plain.
Yea, and eastward thou art free to the portals of the sea, and Pelion the unharboured is but minister to thee.
He hath opened wide his dwelling to the stranger, though his roof for the dead was fresh and welling, for the loved ones of his youth.
'Tis the brave heart's cry, I will fail not though I die. Doth it win with no man's telling some high vision of the truth?
We may marvel, yet I trust, when man seeketh to be just, and to pity them that wander, God will raise him from the dust.
End of part 1. As the song ceases, the doors are thrown open, and Admetus comes before them. A great funeral procession is seen moving out.
Most gentle citizens, our dead is here made ready, and these youths to bear the bier uplifted to the grave mound and the urn. Now, seeing she goes forth never to return, bid her your last farewell as mourners may.
The procession moves forward past him.
Nay, Lord, thy father, walking old and grey, and followers bearing burial gifts and brave gauds, which men call the comforts of the grave.
Enter Pherae with followers bearing robes and gifts.
I come in sorrow for thy sorrow, son. A faithful wife indeed thou hast lost, and one who ruled her heart. But howso hard they be, we needs must bear these griefs. Some gifts for thee are here. Yes, take them, let them go beneath the sod. We both must honor her in death, seeing she hath died, my son, that thou mayest live, nor I be childless. Aye, she would not give my soul to a sad old age mourning for thee. Methinks she hath made all women's life to be a nobler thing by one great woman's deed. Thou Saviour of my son, thou staff in need to our wrecked age, farewell. May some good life be thine still in the grave. Ah, 'tis a wife like this man needs, else let him stay unwed.
The old man has not noticed Admetus's gathering indignation.
I called not thee to burial of my dead, nor count thy presence here a welcome thing. My wife shall wear no robe that thou canst bring, nor needs thy help in aught. There was a day we craved thy love, when I was on my way deathward, thy love, which bade thee stand aside and watch, grey-bearded, while a young man died. And now wilt mourn for her? Thy fatherhood? Thou wast no true begetter of my blood, nor she my mother who dares call me child. Oh, she was barren ever. She beguiled thy folly with some bastard of a thrall. Here is my proof. This hour hath shown me all thou art, and now I am no more thy son. For God, among all cowards, can scarce be one like thee, so grey, so near the boundary of mortal life, thou wouldst not, durst not, die to save thy son. Thou hast suffered her to do thine office, her, no kin to me nor you, yet more than kin. Henceforth she hath all the part of mother, yea, and father in my heart. And what a glory had been thine that day, dying to save thy son, when, either way, thy time must needs be brief. Thy life has had abundances of the things that make men glad, a crown that came to thee in youth, a son to do thee worship and maintain thy throne, not like a childless king, whose folk and lands lie helpless, to be torn by strangers' hands. Wilt say I failed in duty to thine age, for that thou hast let me die? Not so. Most sage, most pious I was, to mother and to thee, and thus ye have paid me? Well, I counsel ye, lose no more time. Get quick another son to foster thy last years, to lay thee on the bier when dead, and wrap thee in thy pall. I will not bury thee. I am, for all the care that thou hast shown me, dead. If I have found another, true to save me at the bound of life and death, that other's child am I, that other's fostering friend, until I die. How falsely do these old men pray for death, cursing their weight of years, their weary breath, when death comes close. There is not one that dares to die. Age is forgot, and all its cares.
Oh, peace! Enough of sorrow in our path is strewn. Thou son, stir not thy father's wrath.
My son, whom seekest thou? Some Lydian thrall, or Phrygian bought with cash, to affright withal by cursing? I am a Thessalian free, my father a born chief of Thessaly, and thou most insolent. Yet think not so to fling thy loud lewd words at me and go. I got thee to succeed me in my hall. I have fed thee, clad thee, but I have no call to die for thee. Not in our family, not in all Greece, doth law bid fathers die to save their sons. Thy road of life is thine, none other's, to rejoice at or repine. All that was owed to thee by us is paid. My throne is thine, my broad lands shall be made thine, as I had them from my father. Say, how have I wronged thee? What have I kept away? Not died for thee? I ask not thee to die. Thou lovest this light. Shall I not love it, I? 'Tis age on age there in the dark, and here my sunlit time is short, but dear, but dear. Thou hast fought hard enough, thou drawest breath even now, long past thy portioned hour of death, by murdering her, and blamest my faint heart. Coward, who hast let a woman play thy part, and die to save her pretty soldier. Ay, a good plan, surely. Thou needst never die. Thou canst find always, somewhere, some fond wife to die for thee. But prithee, make not strife with other friends, who will not save thee so. Be silent, loving thine own life, and know all men love theirs. Taunt others, and thou too shalt hear much that is bitter and is true.
Too much of wrath before, too much hath run after. Old man, cease to revile thy son.
Speak on, I have spoken. If my truth of tongue gives pain to thee, why didst thou do me wrong?
Wrong? To have died for thee were far more wrong.
How can an old life weigh against a young?
Man hath but one, not two lives to his use.
Oh, live on, live, and grow more old than Zeus.
Because none wrongs thee, thou must curse thy sire?
I bless him. Is not life his one desire?
This dead, methinks, is lying in thy place.
A proof, old traitor, of thy cowardliness.
Died she through me? That thou wilt hardly say.
O God, mayst thou but feel the need of me some day.
Go forward, woo more wives that more may die.
As thou wouldst not, thine is the infamy.
This light of heaven is sweet, and sweet again.
Thou heart is foul, a thing unmeet for men.
Thou laugh'st not yet across the old man's tomb.
Dishonored shalt thou die when death shall come.
Once dead, I shall not care what tales are told.
Great gods, so lost to honor, and so old.
She was not lost to honor, she was blind.
Go, leave me with my dead, out from my mind.
I go, bury the woman thou hast slain. Her kinsmen may yet come to thee with plain question. Alcestis hath small place in good men if he care not for his sister's blood.
Pherae goes off with his attendants. Admetus calls after him as he goes.
Be gone, thou and thy bitter mate, be old and childless. Ye have earned your fate while your son lives. For never shall ye be from henceforth under the same roof with me. Must I send heralds and a trumpet's call to abjure thy blood? Fear not, I will send them all.
Pherae is now out of sight. Admetus drops his defiance and seems like a broken man.
But our sorrow is upon us. Come with me, and let us bear her to the tomb.
Ah me!
Farewell, unfalteringly brave. Farewell, thou generous heart and true. May Pluto give thee welcome due, and Hermes love thee in the grave. Whate'er of blessed life there be, for high souls to the darkness flown, be thine forever, and a throne beside the crowned Persephone.
The funeral procession has formed and moves slowly out, followed by Admetus and the chorus. The stage is left empty, till a side door of the castle opens, and there comes out a servant, angry and almost in tears.
Full many a stranger, and from many a land, hath lodged in this castle and my hand. Served them, but never has there passed this way a scurvier ruffian than our guest today. He saw my master's grief, but all the more, in he must come and showed us through the door. And after, think you he would mannerly take what was said before him? No, not he. If on this day of trouble we left out some small thing, he must have it with a shout. Up in both hands our wort of ivy wood he raised and drank the dark grape's burning blood, strong and untempered, till the fire was red within him, then put the myrtle round his head, and wrote some noisy song. So had we there discordant music, he without a care. For all this affliction of Admetus' halls sang on, and listening one could hear the thralls in the long gallery weeping for the dead. We let him see no tears our master made, that order that the stranger must know. So here I wait in her own house and do
service to some black thief, some men of prey, and she has gone forever away. I never followed her, nor lifted high my hand to bless her, never said good-bye. I loved her like my mother, so did all the slaves. She never let us anger fall. Too hard she shaved us always, and this wild beast comes in our sorrow when we need him least.
During the last few lines, Heracles has entered, unperceived by the servant. He has evidently bathed and changed his garments, and drunk his fill, and is now reveling, a garland of flowers on his head. He frightens the servant a little from time to time during the following speech.
Friend, why so solemn and so cranky-eyed? 'Tis not a henchman's office to show pride to his betters. He should smile and make good cheer. There comes a guest, thy lord's old comrade here, and thou art all knitted eyebrows, scowls, and head bent because somebody forsooth is dead. Come close, I mean to make thee wiser.
The servant reluctantly comes close.
So, dost comprehend things mortal, how they grow? I suppose not. How could he? Look this way. Death is a debt all mortal men must pay. Aye, there is no man living who can say if life will last him yet a single day. On to the dark drives fortune, and no force can wrest her secret, nor put back her course. I have told thee, now I've taught thee. After this, eat, drink, make thyself merry. Count the bliss of the one passing hour thine own. The rest is fortune's, and give honor chiefliest to our Lady Cypris, giver of all joys to man. Oh, 'tis a sweet goddess. Otherwise, let all these questions sleep, and just obey my counsel. Thou believest all I say? I hope so. Let this stupid grieving be. Rise up above thy troubles, and with me drink in a cloud of blossoms. By my soul, I vow the sweet plash music of the bowl will break thy glumness, loose thee from the frown within. Let mortal man keep to his own mortality, and not expect too much. To all your solemn dogs and other such scowlers, I tell thee truth, no more nor less. Life is not life, but just unhappiness.
He offers the wine bowl to the servant, who avoids it.
We know all this, but now our fortunes be not such as ask for mirth or revelry.
A woman dead of no one's kin, why grieve so much? Thy master and thy mistress live?
Live? Man, hast thou heard nothing of our woe?
Yes, thy lord told me all I need to know.
He is too kind to his guests, more kind than wise.
Must I go starved because some stranger dies?
Some stranger? Yes, a stranger, verily.
Is this some real grief he hath hid from me?
Go, drink, man. Leave us to our master's woes.
It sounds not like a stranger. Yet, God knows.
How should thy revelling hurt, if that were all?
Hath mine own friend so wronged me in his hall?
Thou camest at an hour when none was free. To accept thee, we were mourning. Thou canst see our hair, black robes.
Who is it that is dead?
Alcestis, the king's wife.
What hast thou said? Alcestis? And ye feasted me withal?
He held it shame to turn thee from his hall.
Shame? And when such a wondrous wife was gone?
Oh, all has gone, all lost, not she alone.
I knew, I felt it when I saw his tears, and face and shorn hair, but he won mine ears with talk of the strange woman and her rite of burial. So in mine own heart's despite I crossed his threshold and sat drinking, he and I, old friends, in his calamity. Drank and sang songs and revelled, my head hot with wine and flowers. And thou, to tell me not, when all the house lay filled with sorrow, thou! Where lies the tomb? Where shall I find her now?
Close by the straight Larissa road, the tall, white marble showed from the castle wall.
O heart, O hand, great doings have ye done of old. Up now, and show them what a son took life that hour when she of tyrants sod, Electra's daughter, mingled with her god. I needs must save this woman from the shore of death and set her in her house once more, repaying Admetus' love. This death, this black and winged lord of corpses, I will track home. I shall surely find him by the grave, a-hungered, lapping the hot blood they gave in sacrifice. And ambush! Then one spring, one grip. These arms shall be a brazen ring, with no escape, no rest, howe'er he whine, and curse his mauled ribs till the queen is mine. Or if he escape me, if he come not there to seek the blood of offering, I will fare down to the houses without light, and bring to her we name not, and her nameless king, strong prayers, until they yield to me and send Alcestis home to life and to my friend, who gave me shelter, drove me not away in his great grief, but hid his evil bay like a brave man, because he loved me well. Is one in all this land more hospitable, one in all Greece? I swear, no man shall say he hath cast his love upon a churl away.
He goes forth, just as he is, in the direction of the grave. The servant watches a moment, and goes back into the hall. The stage is empty. Then Admetus and the chorus return.
Alas, bitter the homeward way, bitter to seek a widowed house, ah me! Where should I fly or stay, be dumb or speak? Would I could cease to be. Despair, despair! My mother bore me under an evil star. I envy them that are perished, my heart is there. It dwells in the sunless houses, afar, afar. I take no joy in looking upon the light, no joy in the feel of the earth beneath my tread. The slayer hath taken his hostage, the Lord of the dead holdeth me sworn to taste no more delight.
He throws himself on the ground in despair. Each member of the chorus speaks his lines severally as he passes Admetus, who is heard sobbing at the end of each line.
Advance, advance, till the house shall give thee cover. Thou hast borne heavy things, and meet for lamentation.
Thou hast passed through the deepest of the river.
Yet no help comes to the sad and silent nation.
And the face of thy beloved, it shall meet thee never, never.
Ye wrench my wounds asunder. Where is grief like mine, whose wife is dead? My wife, whom would I ne'er had wed, nor loved, nor held my house with her. Blessed are they who dare to dwell unloved of woman. 'Tis but one heart that they bleed with, and alone can bear their one life's burden well. No young shall wither at their side, no bridal room be swept by death. Aye, better man should draw his breath for ever without child or bride.
'Tis fate, 'tis fate. She is strong, and none shall break her.
No end, no end. Wilt thou lay to lamentations?
Endure and be still. Thy lamenting will not wake her.
There be many before thee who had suffered and had patience.
Though the face of sorrow changeth, yet her hand is on all nations.
The garb of tears, the mourner's cry, then the long ache when tears are past. Oh, why didst hinder me to cast this body to the dust and die, with her, the faithful and the brave? Then not one lonely soul had fled, but two great lovers proudly dead, through the deep waters of the grave.
A friend I knew in whose house died a son, worthy of bitter rue, his only one. His head sank, yet he bare stilly his weight of care, though grey was in his hair and life nigh done.
Ye shapes that front me, wall and gate, how shall I enter in and dwell among ye, with all fortune's spell dischanted? Aye, the change is great. That day I strode with bridal song, through lifted brands of pelican pine, a hand beloved lay in mine, and loud behind a revelling throng exalted me and her, the dead. They called us young, high-hearted, told how princes were our sires of old, and how we loved and we must wed. For those high songs, lo, men that moan, and raiment black where once was white, who guide me homeward in the night, on that waste bed to lie alone.
It breaks, like strife, thy long peace, where no pain had entered. Yet is life, sweet life, not slain, a wife dead, a dear chair empty. Is that so rare? Men live without despair whose loves are ta'en.
Behold, I count my wife's fate happier, though all gainsay me, than mine own. To her comes no more pain forever. She hath rest and peace from all toil, and her name is blessed. But I am one who hath no right to stay alive on earth, one that hath lost his way in fate, and strays in dreams of life long past. Friends, I have learned my lesson at the last. I have my life. Here stands my house. But now, how dare I enter in? Or, entered, how go forth again? Go forth when none is there to give me a parting word, and I to her. Where shall I turn for refuge? There within? The desert that remains where she hath been will drive me forth. The bed, the empty seat she sat in, nay, the floor beneath my feet unswept, the children crying at my knee for mother, and the very thralls will be in sobs for the dear mistress that is lost. That is my home. If I go forth, a host of feasts and bridal dances, gatherings gay of women, will be there to fright me away to loneliness. Mine eyes will never bear the sight. They were her friends, they played with her. And always, always, men who hate my name will murmur, "This is he who lives in shame because he dared not die. He gave instead the woman whom he loved, and so is fled from death. He counts himself a man withal, and seeing his parents died not at his call, he hates them, when he dared not die. Such mocking beside all my pain shall I endure. What profit was it to live on, friend, with my grief kept and mine honour gone?
I have sojourned in the Muses' land, have wandered with the wandering star, seeking for strength, and in my hand held all philosophies that are. Yet nothing could I hear nor see stronger than that which needs must be.
No Orphic rune, no Thracian scroll hath magic to avert the morrow. No healing all those medicines brave Apollo to the Asclepiad gave, pale herbs of comfort in the bowl of man's wide sorrow.
She hath no temple, she alone, nor image where a man may kneel. No blood upon her altar stone, crying shall make her hear nor feel. I know thy greatness. Come not great beyond my dreams, O power of fate.
Aye, Zeus himself shall not unclose his purpose, save by thy discerning. The chain of iron, the Scythian sword, it yields and shivers at thy word. Thy heart is as the rock, and knows no ruth nor turning.
They turn to Admetus.
Her hand hath caught thee, yea, the keeping of iron fingers grip thee round. Be still, be still. Thy noise of weeping shall raise no lost one from the ground.
Nay, even the sons of God are parted at last from joy and pine in death. O dear on earth when all did love her, O dearer lost beyond recover. Of women all the bravest hearted hath pressed thy lips and breathed thy breath.
Let not the earth that lies upon her be deemed a grave mound of the dead. Let honor, as the gods have honor, be hers, till men shall bow the head, and strangers climbing up from the city her slanting path shall muse and say, this woman died to save her lover, and liveth blessed, the stars above her. Hail, Holy One, and grant thy pity. So pass the wondering words away.
But see, it is Alcemia's son once more. My lord king cometh striding to thy door.
Enter Heracles. His dress is as in the last scene, but shows signs of a struggle. Behind come two attendants, guiding between them a veiled woman, who seems like one asleep or unconscious. The woman remains in the background while Heracles comes forward.
Thou art my friend, Admetus. Therefore bold and plain I tell my story, and withhold no secret hurt. Was I not worthy, friend, to stand beside thee? Yea, and to the end be proven in sorrow if I was true to thee? And thou didst tell me not a word while she lay dead within, but bid me feast, as though naught but the draping of some stranger's woe was on thee. So I garlanded my brow and poured the gods drink offering, and but now filled thy death-stricken house with wine and song. Thou hast done me wrong, my brother, a great wrong thou hast done me, but I will not add more pain in thine affliction. Why I am here again, returning, thou must hear. I pray thee, take and keep yon woman from me till I make my homeward way from Thrace, when I have ta'en those 4 steeds and their bloody master slain. And if, which heaven avert, I ne'er should see Hellas again, I leave her here, to be an handmaid in thy house. No labor small was it that brought her to my hand at all. I fell upon a contest certain kings had set for all mankind, sore buffetings and meet for strong men, where I staked my life, and won this woman. For the easier strife, black steeds were prizes. Herds of kine were cast for heavier issues, fists and wrestling. Last, this woman. Lest my work should all seem done for naught, I needs must keep what I have won. So, prithee, take her in. No theft, but true toil won her. Some day thou mayst thank me, too.
'Twas in no scorn, no bitterness to thee, I hid my wife's death and my misery. Methought it was but added pain on pain if thou shouldst leave me and roam again forth seeking another's roof. And for my own sorrow I was content to weep alone. But for this damsel, if it may be so, I pray thee, Lord, let some man, not in woe like mine, take her. Thou hast in Thessaly abundant friends. 'Twould wake sad thoughts in me. How could I have this damsel in my sight and keep mine eyes dry? Prince, why wilt thou smite the smitten? Griefs enough are on my head. Where in my castle could so young a maid be lodged? Her veil and raiment show her young. Here in the man's hall. I should fear some wrong. 'Tis not so easy, Prince, to keep controlled my young men, and thy charge I fain would hold sacred. If not, wouldst have me keep her in the woman's chambers, where my dead hath been? How could I lay this woman where my bride once lay? It were dishonor double dyed. These streets would curse the man who so betrayed the wife who saved him for some younger maid, the dead itself. I needs must worship her, and keep her will.
During the last few lines, Admetus has been looking at the veiled woman, and, though he does not consciously recognize her, feels a strange emotion overmastering him. He draws back.
I must walk with care. O woman, whosoever thou art, thou hast the shape of my Alcestis. Thou art cast in mould like hers. O take her from mine eyes, in God's name.
Heracles signs to the attendants to take Alcestis away again. She stays veiled and unnoticing in the background.
I was fallen, and in this wise thou wilt make me deeper fall. Meseems, there in her face the loved one of my dreams looked forth. My heart is made a turbid thing, craving I know not what, and my tears spring unbidden. Grief I knew 'twould be, but how fiery grief I never knew till now.
Thy fate I praise not, yet what gift soe'er God giveth, man must steel himself and bear.
Heracles, drawing Admetus on.
Would God I had the power, mid all this might of arm, to break the dungeons of the night and free thy wife and make thee glad again.
Where is such power? I know thy heart were fain, but so 'tis writ, the dead shall never rise.
Chafe not the curb, then, suffer and be wise.
Easier to give such counsel than to keep.
Who will be happier, shouldst thou always weep?
Why, none. Yet some blind longing draws me on.
'Tis natural thou didst love her that is gone.
'Tis that hath wrecked, oh, more than wrecked, my life.
'Tis certain thou hast lost a faithful wife.
Till life itself is dead, and wearies me.
The pain is yet young, time will soften thee.
The veiled woman begins dimly, as though in a dream, to hear the words spoken.
Time? Yes, if time be death.
Nay, wait, and some woman, some new desire of love will come.
Peace? How canst thou? Shame on thee!
Thou wilt stay unwed forever? Lonely day and night?
No other bride in these void arms shall lie.
What profit will thy dead wife gain thereby?
Honor, which finds her wheresoe'er she lies.
Most honorable in me, but scarcely wise.
God curse me if I betray her in her tomb.
So be it. And this good damsel, thou wilt take her home?
No, in the name of Zeus thy father, no!
I swear 'tis not well to reject her so.
'Twould tear my heart to accept her.
Grant me, friend, this one boon. It may help thee in the end.
Woe's me, would God thou hadst never won those victories.
Thou sharest both the victory and the prize.
Thou art generous, but now let her go.
She shall, if go she must. Look first and judge withal.
He takes the veil off Alcestis.
She must, and thou... Forgive me.
Friend, there is a secret reason why I pray for this.
I grant thy boon then, though it likes me ill.
'Twill like thee later. Now, but do my will.
Take her, find her some lodging in my hall.
I will not yield this maid to any thrall.
Take her thyself, and lead her in.
I stand beside her. Take her, lead her to thy hand.
He brings the woman close to Admetus, who looks determinedly away. She reaches out her arms.
I touch her not. Let her go in.
I am loath to trust her, save to thy pledged hand and oath.
Lord, this is violence, wrong.
Reach forth thy hand and touch this comer from a distant land.
Admetus, holding out his hand without looking.
Like Perseus when he touched the Gorgon. There.
Thou hast touched her?
Admetus, at last, taking her hand.
Touched her? Yes.
Heracles, a hand on the shoulder of each.
Then cling to her, and say if thou hast found a guest of grace in God's son, Heracles. Look in her face. Look, is she like...
Admetus looks and stands amazed.
O ye gods! What meaneth this? A marvel beyond dreams. The face, 'tis she, mine, verily mine. Or doth God mock at me, and blast my vision with some mad surmise?
Not so, this is thy wife before thine eyes.
Beware, the dead have phantoms that they send.
Nay, no ghost raiser hast thou made thy friend.
My wife, she whom I buried?
I deceive thee not, nor wonder thou canst scarce believe.
And dare I touch her, greet her, as mine own wife living?
Greet her, thy desire is won.
Admetus, approaching with awe.
Beloved eyes, beloved form, O thou gone beyond hope, I have thee, I hold thee now.
Thou hast her. May no god begrudge your joy.
Admetus, turning to Heracles.
O lordly conqueror, child of Zeus on high, be blessed, and may he, thy sire above, save thee, as thou alone hast saved my love.
He kneels to Heracles, who raises him.
But how? How didst thou win her to the light?
I fought for life, with him I needs must fight.
With death thou hast fought? But where?
Among his dead I lay, and sprang and gripped him as he fled.
Admetus, in an awed whisper, looking toward Alcestis.
Why standeth she so still? No sound, no word.
She hath dwelt with death. Her voice may not be heard, ere to the lords of them below she pay due cleansing, and awake on the third day.
To the attendants.
So, guide her home.
They lead Alcestis to the doorway.
And thou, king, for the rest of time be true. Be righteous to thy guest as he would have thee be. But now farewell. My task yet lies before me, and the spell that binds me to my master. Forth I fare.
Stay with us this one day. Stay but to share the feast upon our hearth.
The feasting day shall surely come. Now I must needs away.
Heracles departs.
Farewell! All victory attend thy name and safe homecoming. Lo, I make proclaim to the four nations and all Thessaly, a wondrous happiness hath come to be. Therefore pray, dance, give offerings, and make full your altars in the life-blood of the bull. For me, my heart is changed. My life shall mend henceforth, for surely fortune is a friend.
He goes with Alcestis into the house.
There be many shapes of mystery, and many things God brings to be, past hope or fear, and the end men looked for, cometh not.
And a path is there where no man thought.
So hath it fallen here.